Solo Dolo. What was that burger? That wasn't no burger. That was a chick. That was a chicken sandwich. That shit was rocking. Lunchtime. Lunchtime. Lunchtime special. Lunchtime. Lunchtime special. Lunchtime. Terrible day. The Bills couldn't solve the Chiefs' secondary, which came away with 3 interceptions. The turnovers proved costly and sparked the Chiefs to the victory, 23-16. In the zone, Taylor found all sorts of holes in the Jaguars' defense, giving the Colts 179 yards and leading them to the victory. You know what I'm impressed with? I'm impressed with the Colts. I'm impressed with the Colts. Every time I read the news, somebody different is making plays for him. Somebody's stepping up with right before our eyes right now. Alley boys in the building. At the end of the day. Yeah, so I like what the coach is doing over there, and he's doing it with
You knew he took his Xbox home too, right?
Najee did.
Yeah.
Wow. When I get off of this, I'll be. We should be assholes and go get it. Here, this for you. 44-47 win. They was rocking though. You want this one or this one?
I'll take the other one.
But all right, young grasshoppers. Young grasshoppers. Cooper led the Cowboys. I'm gonna tell you like this: the Cowboys is playing at a high level too. D West on his shit over there with them Cowboys, man. And honestly, I think he's doing something that you know with a player that we usually wouldn't see a position. I say that we usually wouldn't see him do good things with all the time. But I'm very impressed with the old head D West over there, man. It's funny we call him old head, but that boy young as hell. But he in a crew with a bunch of young boys. My man called me today and said, "Hey, The only person I'm responsible for is my nephew. Eric, D West gonna say the only person I'm responsible for is my nephew. I think the other boy retarded. Now, but anyway, Cooper leads Cowboys to a 63-28 win over the rebuilding Washington football team. Up and down Washington. I'll tell you one thing: the Washington football team get more breakout messages than anybody I know. I'm starting to think he understands something that we don't. Because I can't see how somebody just get a breakout every week. This shit ridiculous. I had 2 all year. Wait a minute. Am I reading this score right? Wait a minute. 51-28. Did Mark just pick a 50 burger up on Corey? Wait. Well, we know Darwin James getting picks still because he right in that picture just picking shit off. But Hurst big throw leads Eagles to a win over the Bucks. I got to get into that game. 51-28. Holy shit. What did I miss last night? Shootout alert. Shootout alert. That's what happened when you got fucking over 40 rookies on the field right now. Simple as that. Shootout alert. Mad as hell that shit dropped. Uh-oh. Shootout alert. Yeah. Commit to the run, 17-14. The Bears defense could never get a handle on Dillon. I'm impressed with coaches doing with Dillon too, A.J. Dillon, man. And this is what I was trying to show. I thought T was going to show us this, but I was trying to show that you don't have to have, especially in the beginning when you first start a new league, you don't have to have 95 speed running backs to be successful. At all. I think A.J. Dillon is proving that. Like he's playing big football with A.J. Dillon, man. He probably got about 88 speed, 80 something acceleration. Big running back, about 250 pounds, and he's getting the job done, bro. Like he moved the chains. Now again, my boy T, not to take nothing away from him, that ain't his style. He ain't with all that cloud of dust shit. I'm telling you right now, he ain't with that. He about big plays, big play. That's what he want, period. So all that cloud of dust shit wasn't going to work with him with no Josh Jacobs. You know what I'm talking about? But if it was anybody that could do it, it would have been him. But Josh Jacobs is now a Seahawk, and that Seahawks is playing pretty well with him right now, man. You can't subtract for what a superstar can do no matter what the speed is on him. Humbled at home. It was not a pretty sight in Cincinnati this week where the hometown Bengals were thrashed 56-24 by the visiting Raiders. Again, I think, the Bengals is definitely one of them teams, the worst teams to play with. Young Camden got these guys. They up and down. That's what's going to happen. They're going to be up and down for him right now. His nucleus is young as well. At a lot of the key positions, he's very young. And he's getting it done, man. Like, he's getting it done. He had some big wins this season. And again, but playing with the Bengals, you're gonna be up and down all year long until you build it into your liking. You know what I mean? Turnovers cost the Lions 31-14. We know Justin Fields is over there. He got put in trial by fire. It's not like he's one of those quarterbacks that went to a team with all weapons. And you can see him go crazy in his rookie season. I still think Justin Fields is playing at a high level over there for the Lions, considering the Lions their number one receiver is Patman, and who is he? You know what I'm saying? Like, so Justin Fields is doing a really pretty good job right now. I think when they get some weapons behind them, I heard they hired Coach Day from Ohio State to take over the offensive coordinator job. When they drafted Justin Fields. They just had to get the paperwork done. So at the end of the season, we'll see Coach Day over there leaving Ohio State, and he will be coaching these Lions offensively. So I think they get some weapons behind them over there. They better run their style of offense out there. I think Justin Fields will be fine. For real. The mistakes add up. 39-13. Bills lose to the Falcons. Air raid 34-18. My favorite demon timer is still out there doing what he's doing right now. To me, with I mean, all right, this is what I'll say with him. I see him make all the right moves this year. I see him not give up players that he shouldn't give up. I see him make the right trades. I see him sticking with the players he drafted. And in the process of that, I see wins. I don't care if he's not winning every game. I don't care if he loses some big. I don't care. What I see is I see improvement, and it starts there. Knowing how to build your team starts your road to being able to be successful and winning ball games. Period. The Cardinals beat the Bears early in the morning yesterday, 55-6. Jalen Stanley, we've got to be better. This was a game we should have won today. I don't see how you should have won a 55-6 game at all. I don't see how you should have won a game that way, but whatever. But again, the Bears is one of those teams. They dealing with a my player at quarterback, and they really don't have no weapons out there outside of Tutu on offense. So they still got a lot of building to do. I think they're gonna need at least 2 draft classes to better start, being able to compete in their division alone. So again, 31-28, dropping dimes. Like these Cowboys keep showing up, man. Whether they win or lose, they're losing close and they're winning big. So there's some things going on over there. That game wasn't played. Turnovers proved big, 37. This was the big win yesterday that had the chat going on fire. A overachieving Chargers team take their first loss yesterday in a game where the run game showed up, 30 plus carries for the Broncos, and that front 4 on defense, actually the front 7, total front 7 on defense for the Broncos showed up. And we might have caught our rookie moment with these Chargers. I mean, up until this point, the Chargers have been playing the best football in the league, period, with the youngest roster in the league. And it took 30 carries and cloud of dust football to really get these guys to a loss, period. And then coming off that loss, then they played a late night game with the Ravens that was a fucking flat out shootout. And what happens is you're dealing with a total of 40 plus rookies on the field, and you start seeing the matchups, and then you start seeing certain players make plays like Kenneth Murray, the linebacker. To me, in his second season, Falk played him during the sim season and got him developed over that sim season. And like, it's crazy how you can just see it. You can see the difference between a guy that's ready to play versus a bunch of guys that's not ready to play. And we also see the offensive defensive line. Like, we both gave up sacks all day long. It was a bunch of sacks, a bunch of big plays. So I enjoyed to see us being able to make some plays on offense again that we haven't been able to really make because we've been playing a bunch of veteran teams. Yo. Is this a special call in real fast?
I had to call in.
What's going on, cuz? What's going on? So I named my title of this episode 14 is stupid is as stupid does. So I didn't get into it. I was just reading the news right now, but I was kind of glad. I was kind of glad you called in now because I kind of want to get into that topic, what I mean by my title and stuff. So Falk, tell me a little bit about football itself. Like, when you watching Sunday football. All right, let me ask you this: are you a gambling man? Do you enjoy at times to place bets on games? All right. So when you watching real NFL or basketball or whatever the case may be, and you got a game that you're unsure of, and it's almost like a guaranteed game. Like, let's say like you get a game where it's like, all right, the Patriots haven't lost to the Jets in like 8 seasons, and it's still Tom Brady over there with Belichick, and the odds of the bet is you got to kind of go against the Patriots. How comfortable are you to go against those Patriots?
I'm not going to go against them. I'm not going to be confident in that bet.
Now, how many times have you said that, did that, don't go against them, and then out of nowhere the Jets upset, let's call it what it is, upset, win, and your guaranteed money ain't guaranteed anymore?
It happens. That's why they call it any given Sunday.
All right. So I say that to take us back to football and to look at some things. So we saw the chat go crazy yesterday over you losing the circle bob, and it was you was shut. You not good. Is this your best? Blah blah blah. You got your shit played with. All the conversations, right? And then you watch a game. I watched the Raiders and the Broncos play today. And the Raiders, a team that you kind of beat twice this season, and follow me here, kind of blew out the Broncos in their game today. Now how can things like that happen? How can you not lose to a team that blow the Broncos out 2 times in a row? How does things like that happen?
Well, it's multiple factors. I mean, you got factors from not being locked into the game to distractions to people just playing different styles of play calling, as well as the game itself. Man, so it's multitude of factors that can play into it. But primarily, the number one is probably play calling.
All right. So in play calling, you play teams twice this year. When you played the Broncos twice this year. Now I think out of anybody that play in our league, the Broncos coach is unorthodox more than anybody. So you really can't get a handle on how you want to play a game. He comes out and he do a lot of plays that nobody else is doing. I love how he plays. But he's up and down when he plays because some games he come out and look like he could be the best player in the league. Some games he come out and look like what the hell happened, right? Now back to what I'm saying right now. Do you ever judge a win when you beat, like, let's say you beat the Broncos, or right now you beat T twice, and y'all got to play in the playoffs? Do you think in your head for anything that, I beat him twice, he asked, I'm going to beat him again?
No, because I understand football is all about adjustments. So it really only boils down to winning when it counts. And, the great ones win when it counts. So
Right.
me beating T twice has nothing to do with anything. I just beat him twice, but I got to see him in the playoffs. And if I don't bring my A game, I'm going to lose. Back to Circle Bob, he's a Jekyll and Hyde.
Right.
He could lose by 50. I beat Circle Bob by 50. I've also lost to Circle Bob by double digits. He's just one of them players where, like you said, you can't get a grasp on how he plays. More often than not, he does lose, but he can't get you. And that's why I just think the AFC West is going to be a division to be reckoned with for the next 100 years, man. But you can't get high and low off of regular season games, man. You can't. Like, if I beat you one time, like I lost to you last night, we had a shootout. You know what I'm saying? Like we did in that Super Bowl, we had a shootout where I couldn't stop Lamar. So I'm compensating. Like I'm double spying Lamar, and then Waddle going up top. I'm cheating with the safety, and then you run and make the move with your running back and take the long run. That's football. You know what I'm saying? That's football. So, you can't really look into one win or a couple wins and just be like, nah, that nigga ass. Because honestly, any given event, you can lose. Like I just lost in another league to the Bengals over here. You know what I'm saying? He balled the shit out of me. Then when the game was in doubt, he started throwing the ball and shit. So, we call it football, but you still got to stop it.
That's why I wanted to talk to you. People hear screaming butt ball a lot on our broadcasts, right? But at the end of the day, let's put the terminology out there why we call it butt ball. This started way back. I know I wasn't the person to come up with the name butt ball or nothing like that, but we had guys in our league that did some things back in the day that forced you to call things butt balling. But butt balling is just somebody being methodical. Period. Somebody understanding like I can't come out here and play the game I usually play to beat this guy, so I gotta control the clock. You know what I mean? Keep the other offense off the field. But at the end of the day, that's a butt ball is a slang word for slang terminology for us to use of us not being able to get somebody off the field at the end of the day. So a lot of people take it wrong, like we plan them out and all that, but it's really
They take it wrong from the standpoint of is like, look, stop it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's football. So at the end of the day, you got to stop it. But we all know at the end of the day, it's football, but it's a video game.
Right.
And you are playing this to have fun. And you don't want to see somebody just sitting there, stretch, counter, dive, drag, hitch, stretch, dive, counter, hitch, screen. Like, you don't want to see that. Like, that's just, it's boring. It ain't no fun. Like, it's like dry, like looking at paint dry.
Right.
It's cool, but it's effective. You know, I watched when you played Circle Bob and you was bombing him left and right. Well, when we played, he didn't play like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so, you know, you definitely have different things. And this is what I should say, baby. We should redefine football as, baby. And this could be on our end. If you run the ball, let's say on average you run the ball 15, 18 times a game. But then you play another opponent and you got double those carries, that's football.
Right.
That's
Right.
football. Because you know if you only had those, if you average 15 to 18 carries a game, but then you got 35, come on, man. That ain't no coincidence. You're doing that for a reason. That's football.
Right.
And there ain't nothing wrong with it, but it's gonna get called out.
Right. And you know, usually most people say that type of shit for the playoffs, especially when you just start in real draft. This is our first actual season we playing. Like I'll give you an example. I could not get the broadcast to work last night, right? So once I knew I wasn't broadcasting and that game wasn't going to be broadcast, I understood I can do what I really want to do. That I would play in a not in a sense playoff football, because I think people won't realize. Again, we've played Super Bowls where we score high points against each other, right? But I think the high scoring in our game last night was more about those rookies being rookies at the end of the day. I saw my offensive line at times push you around in a run game. I saw your passing game be so effective that your run game opened up. I saw my offensive line can't block your defensive line. You saw the potential of what's going to happen later on. But what you couldn't account for is what I haven't done all year, which was run Lamar. I guess because I wasn't on a under the microscope, I was able to do a little bit of that, a little bit more than what I would do.
Yeah, and I think it's more of a, we know what we're going to get when we play each other. It's
Right.
a chess match. So you know what I like to do, I know what you like to do, and we're going to go off that. So like when we played the Super Bowl over in
Game of Thrones,
I think the score might have been like 48-42.
Yeah, it was high
That
score.
was just like, if you go back and watch that game, that was a shootout. Like, I score one play, you score one play. Like, that was a shootout. Like, I'm talking about, like, design, new babies. You know, it was like that because we know each other's games so well. We're always on chat. We're always talking.
Right.
Always scheming updates. And it's tough to play that. You know, that's why me and you have never been in the same division. Because it just... You know, we've been in the same conference, but we can't be in the same division.
At all.
We kind of know each other that well, where it's like, damn, I gotta deal with this. But yeah, I mean, you haven't shown it all season. I think a couple of your losses, in my opinion, you could have showed Lamar, because he's the most special player in the league.
Right.
From the start of it.
Right.
So just, you know, like, come on, I never double spy anybody. I don't give a fuck who you is.
Right.
I had double spies on this nigga.
And then the funny part is linebackers spying him, and you saw the run past those linebackers with those spies, like running right past it. But and here's the thing, though. I know who Lamar is, but now you talk to me. Ready? When you come out of a draft, you just drafted all them damn rookies. You put your team together, and you know you got to play week 1. What is your goal for your entire regular season when you playing with your brand new team that you just assembled? What is your number one goal to do with that team while you're playing your regular season games? This is the conversation I wanted to have.
To develop them to year 2, 3, 4, 5, especially like year 3 to 5 range. We got all cylinders. So while people retool and rebuilding, year 3 to 5, we motherfucking built, we young, and we knocking your fucking head in.
So season one of you playing after you assemble your team, you have, all right. Let's say you had what, about 12 to 13 rookies that you drafted. Um, when you put all these players on the field, your job is to get all of them built, right?
Yeah.
So
The best that I can.
So how hard is it to actually play a game knowing that you're playing for building versus playing for the win? And I explain the difference. The difference is, real fast, not to cut you off, but the difference is if I play you and I give Lamar the ball all game long just to get the win because I'm playing somebody I want to get the win off of, and then I forget about these other rookies I got on the field or other players that need to be built because I want the win, I'm not join my team the just service it should be. So again, I ask you that same question.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the mindset. You know, I go to Alfred. You know, like me personally, he got probably the best team of rookies as far as just like attributes and just dogs at each position
Right.
out of everybody. You go look at his team, like in the rookies. So me, I wouldn't have like tried to win the MVP or get all that with Saquon Barkley. Why? Because he's already built. He's already a superstar, whatever he is. So I'm working on them receivers. I'm working on, you know what I mean, the linebackers, the O-linemen, and the DBs. Niggas got a dog team that year 3, he gonna be whooping motherfuckers' ass just with their team.
And you're not gonna better beat Albert's team,
Play.
even though like he's behind schedule and building the talent that he got out of free agency in that draft. But even by season 3 or 4, that team, if he keeps it together and he understands what he's doing, they're gonna be hard to beat. Now, but what happens if he what happens if he know he's going to lose games this year and he's losing because he can't really get nobody off the field or whatever the case may be? What's the difference between building all those other players that needed to be built versus trying to win an MVP with Saquon? Now, it's his way of playing, and please, Albert, if you listen, don't take this the wrong way. It's just a design of what we're saying right now, as far as understanding how to build. We started off talking about the Saints. I think he's doing a great job at building, so we're continuing that conversation. And when we did take a look at Albert's team in the previous Real Talk, we saw, holy shit, this guy went ham in free agency, and he had a hell of a draft. Those rookies are going to be dogs by season 3. And I think he could have jumped that a little further if he'd have built those players right now.
Yeah, I agree. But to answer your point, and just to use that as a reference, it's important to have a plan, man. Like, I already know where my holes at for this draft. I know where my holes at for the draft year 3. I know where my holes at for year 4. I know when we say luxury, you know what I'm saying? I know all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really just taking the right game to being an actual GM. And know what that means, man. Like, it's good to have dog players. But when your whole team is dogs, like all 3 of your receivers, your tight end, your fucking 2 running backs, all your linebacker core, your D-line, your secondary, that's great GM right there. You know what I'm saying? And not too many people can do that because they just find out 1 or 2 players and that's all they want to develop.
And then that's what happens later on down the line when you start hearing, look at his team. That's the only reason why he winning. Look at his team. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, I sacrifice season 1, and within that sacrifice, whether I make the playoffs or I don't or I do, usually I do. And usually I try to win it all. But if I don't, I'm understanding that you still got to see this same team that made it this far or pushed you to the limit or pushed you to the envelope. My first season with them, you still gotta see them season 2, 3, and 4. You know what I'm saying? Because you go to season 4 without having to worry about if you can afford these rookies, all this talent you acquired. Can you afford it? But by the time you get to that season 4, you done had a couple of more drafts. You can shuffle and move out and do some things with the players you got that you really don't need to sign, or you do. You know who your nucleus is, and that's that. So now, when you talk about the regular season, how important is the regular season to you?
On a scale of 1 to 10, a 6.
Regular season is this the funny part. When you first start in the league off, the regular season is important to me for 2 things. 1, you want to see where you at. That's the first thing. But 2, I'm all about building my players as a whole. My entire 22 starters as a whole have to be built to carry me into the next season, so I can really look at my team and see where we at, right? Um, do we dismiss? Do we really like dismiss? Like let's get into the guy you call regular season champ. Let me give you my opinion of this guy. My opinion of him is he is a dog playing this game. Would you agree with me?
I think the tape is still out. I mean, he hasn't proved other than the regular season. He's a dog.
I think that he can line up against anybody at any moment and put him in a situation.
So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Let me interview you. What's the difference between let's say somebody like a LeBron James, let's say like a LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and Patrick Ewing and Charles Barkley? What's the difference between them?
Well, the guys you named won one, the rest of them didn't. They still go down as great players, but they don't go past that.
They don't got that extra oomph behind their name.
Yeah. You ain't going never look at Charles Barkley and call him a top 5 player in the league at all, ever. You just gonna say Charles Barkley was great.
Even though some of the regular seasons he had was probably historically some of the best regular seasons ever.
Right. And what he
But
did.
You're not gonna look at him. Why? Because when he counted most, he came up what?
He folded every single time.
So far as my mini me, well, he wants to be my mini me. He mentions my name constantly. He got to win when he counts. That's it. If he wins when it counts, if he comes in this league and wins when it counts, he can get stand. She always been calling us ass, shit stains, and he never changed that. What was the difference between him then and now?
He winning.
He won it when it counts.
Yep, he won when it count, and he has the opportunity to put himself up there in the ranks of, like when people play T, they look at T now, and he earned this. That's the whole thing about it. The boy earned it. So at the end of the day, I would never take nothing away from that man. He earned it. He earned being able to be looked at and a guy see him and be like, nah, you got a first one, bro. He earned that shit, bro, at the end of the day. He earned that shit. You feel me? Like, it's a difference between seeing T on the schedule and being like, oh, shit, I fuck that. I got to play different when I play him. This guy different. Versus seeing the Texans on your schedule and be like, man, I got to fucking play this annoying ass guy. The fuck. It's a real big difference right now. And I think anybody in the league understands that. Like, you understand when you playing certain people, you gotta really strap your boots up and really lock in to play those guys. Like, if you are one of these guys that play somebody, and the moment you play them, I'm gonna tell you like this: if I gotta play you, I think me personally, I think you're the best player in the league. I haven't seen nobody in our leagues overall be as consistent as you have been in every league I've ever played with you. So people can get mad, oh, I won 3 Super Bowls this year, I won 4, Falk only won 1. I've been in leagues with you where I won way more Super Bowls than you and still won't fix my lips to call myself better than you. But I chased that, you know what I'm saying? I think T showed us that he has that fight in him. He chases that. Fuck that, I'm going to show y'all I'm better than y'all. Simple as that. I'm just as good first, then I'm going to show y'all I'm better than y'all. But he earned his way. Like, you gotta like this game is about competitiveness and respect, right? And you gotta earn your respect. You can't go out there and push the narrative for your respect. You gotta earn it at the end of the day. I go back and say this. I call him the Texans. I've been in the same division as him. I know I play him twice a season for a long time. The guy can play the game. He has a style of play that, that's very effective, and he wins ball games. But I don't see him as what he sees himself as. And I think anybody that got to keep pushing the narrative of how great they are and everybody they play and they ass and this and that, I can't get down with that. I used to kill Boone. Boone, one of my best friends on this game. I used to kill Boone. You can't tell me because you just pitched 50 up on one guy, and then you watched another guy play that guy you put the 50 up on, and they lose to them, and then you line up and think you could beat them just because you put 50 up on a guy they lost to. That shit don't matter. Can't call everybody ass, because eventually what happens is any given Sunday.
Well, look at, not to cut you off, look at, when we say any given Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
you got one of the best users with the best, one of the best teams and the Bucks, right?
Uh-huh.
And he just got throttled by the Eagles. But, shit happens.
But nobody's ready to crown Mark as, oh my God, he ready to be a top player in the league because he beat the shit out the Bucks.
Now do Boone, do Mel, do they think Corey's ass? They better not.
Yeah, none of those guys over there better not look at Corey losing to the Eagles by the score. And not even Corey ain't have a bad game. Corey had a bad week. Bottom line, he had a bad week. Corey been in his bag. Everything been bothering him since the Rams game, and Corey's been in a bad state of mind, and he ain't pulled himself out of it. And if you know people like I know their personalities, because I talked to everybody in my league for years, I got a relationship with everybody. I know Corey's one of those guys that can get in his own damn head, and right now that's where he's at right now. And if you just pay attention, see, people too busy trying to troll and laugh at shit and think shit's funny all the time. But if you just listen to him, man, type, because you can't hear a voice. But if you listen to him type in the chat, he literally telling you where his head space is at. So go back and read Corey's conversation after he lost to the Eagles. He didn't say that man played a great game, he better than me. He told you everything that was going on in his mind for the last 4 to 5 days playing this game and why that loss was the way it was. And that tells you what his headset is. And a guy could come in a game and just not be in the right. You know how many times I play a game and I'm just not in the right headspace for play calling and do the right things to win the ball game. It happens a lot, bro. Like it happens a lot. It happens a lot. So when we line up and play guys, man, we got to stop judging the game we played right then and there, and then decide that's what a person is, or like I would say this, and I'm not. The new Falcons user said something today in the chat that kind of took my attitude away. He wrote a long ass paragraph in there, and at the end of the day, what I got out of it was he explained this: we all play this game for different reasons, right? Competition, to be amongst your crew, and this and that. So like I said today, I ain't with all that crew shit. I don't know what I said. Whatever I said was I deaded the whole ain't no fucking rivalry type shit, because I came into a chat that didn't stop going to fuck off since 3 o'clock in the morning and shit, and then I hear threats. I don't know why the threats are there, and this is just me reacting, but I hear threats. So those threats sound like the same threats I used to get a couple seasons ago, a couple discs ago, from people thinking that I gave a fuck if they played or didn't play. You know what I'm saying? I always want everybody in the league to stick around and play and enjoy what I like to create for them to enjoy. But I also know this. I know the power of how good of the things I do as a league runner that'll keep this league filled up no matter who the fuck is here. Simple as that. So my attitude was that. But then when I heard the Falcons type what he typed, I got it. So are we trying to school somebody that can't be schooled at the end of the day? His thing is he wants the whole world to know about it until he's done feeling like they need to know about it, right? So this is why you lost to the Broncos, was you being added at 3 o'clock in the morning. But are we ignoring the fact that he's about to play you soon, and that might be the reason why he's being the way he is in chat? Like, are we allowing our attitudes of this little shit stain to keep talking shit all day long nonstop to be, maybe that's how he builds himself up to play the games?
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, maybe that's just his mechanism for playing the game. He gotta. But my point is with that, it's just like, that's cool, but you didn't do it. Like, he didn't do what the Broncos did.
Right.
Like he mentioned it. Like, after the game, he mentioned, I lost. That's fine. But then I'm getting ready to go to bed. We get done our game, get on chat, and I'm like, damn. And it ain't just like, all right, Chargers lost, fuck Lord. It was, shit, you ain't see? He got that game played with today, huh? Yeah, he played like some shit, man. Listen, man. Circle Ball whooped his ass. And if you watch the game, James whooped my ass. It was a ball game till Madden came in with that new strip sack shit they got. He got the ball, then he broke the long run, and then you seen some ant throws by a second-year quarterback that was in the red zone. So how do you equate he got locked or he got you can't. But he didn't watch the game. He's just being a troll, and that's cool. But like, damn, you mentioned him he had 3 in the morning, my niggas.
I seen
Like
this.
several, not no just one joint, like several mentions. Like I'm on your mind at that time of night. I had to say something.
Yeah, nah, I get that. That shit just, I mean,
And this ain't the first time. Though. Like we forget when I beat him before, I beat him. That was it. He beat me. He up till 6 in the morning talking about it. And I did it. I'm the standard. I did it. Matter of fact, I think that's what I'm gonna name myself. Standard. I like that. I like that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
But let's talk about this. You got guys like Antonio Todd that got the Lions. You got guys like
I like this.
you got a bunch of guys in this league that have had success in our league. Got teams right now that they just can't really get jiggy with at the end of the day. Losing games right now and you don't hear shit. They ain't winning, you don't hear shit. Is it the how do I say this? Is it this? All right, so again, I watched the Seahawks and the Packers play. Now, I think people don't understand Madden a lot. And I call myself franchise guru not because I think I'm the best motherfucker. I think I dig deep in getting information on how this game runs to be able to run my league at the highest level possible, right? So when I say that, I look at teams. Guys look at. Remember, we had the argument the Cardinals is one of the worst teams to play with. Everybody like, nah, then they're not. They one of the best teams to play with. No, they're not. They're one of the worst teams to play with. But anyway, I look at teams. So the Seahawks and the Packers played yesterday. I seen 2 Titan quarterbacks on the field, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Just having those 2 players on the field right there changes that ball game around right now, right? Versus Aaron Rodgers on the field and Trey Lance on the field against each other. Do you understand, just without me saying where I'm going at, do you understand the difference right then and there? Aaron Rodgers, Trey Lance. Do you understand the difference that's already going to happen in that game? All right, so let's go back to Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson on the field right now. Now, the Packers have one of the most methodical football games, real life football you're going to watch a guy play if you watch the Packers. All right? That guy played really good real football. Everything he do has real football concept to it. Like, he attacks the game from a real offensive coordinator mindset. He ain't out there looking for stats at all. He's out there to get the win. Well, his style of play all year has been, if you see his wins, they're close wins. If he loses, they're close losses. But then when you look at the matchups he had to play against and who he played, when he played them, how he played his game, it really got away from him when he played Russell Wilson. And here's why. Aaron Rodgers alone will make your offensive line play better, will make your entire receiver corps catch the ball better, period. Russell Wilson will do the same thing. Trey Lance is not going to make those wide receivers play better and the line not going to play at a high level, if that makes sense. And the moment people start understanding that, so when I say I'm running around here with rookies, we can't stop shit, I got no-name running backs busting 160 yards, 3 touchdowns on me right now because I got a whole entire front 7 of rookies, whole entire secondary rookies, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you this, not saying you can look at your team and say, oh, your team better than mine. Look at the rookies you got versus you got a 99-speed rookie. You still missing the point of what I'm saying to you. I can lock Humphreys in front of, and I did it. I did it after Devontae Smith went off on me for them couple of catches for touchdowns. I put on him, Falk. I put Humphreys, locked him right on him, and he did. And then you had to go to every other receiver but him. When you played T, Devontae Smith got locked on by his fastest corner with a higher overall at the time, and Devontae was a no-show that game. Is it safe to say that, or am I making something up right now? Look at Boone. Boone got D Hop going crazy right now. And his thing was, y'all said D Hop ain't a receiver to play with. I'm going to show you he is a receiver to play with. But what happens when a good corner goes up against D Hop and he can't do D Hop shit with him, and Isabella not built, Kirk not built? What happens to Boone? So when I'm playing the Texans and Will Fuller catches a seam route, double cover, got two guys on him, and he just makes the catch. Wasn't like he animated. Wasn't like he went up and got it. Positioned. He just caught the ball over two safeties. That's rookies on the field. What's the difference? Will Fuller is a higher overall, and he's ready to play than those guys. Not saying you can't will your rookies into doing something or your younger players are doing something, but that stuff matters in a franchise, and people are not realizing that shit right now. Like, and I'll just be trying to get people to understand that it's no excuse because I did that to my team to put that type of talent on the field, right? I know what it's going to look like, and I'll prove my point as we get into season 2 and 3, right? But when you go up against some of these guys, like I can lock Humphreys up on anybody's number one receiver, and they're not going to have a good day. You're going to have to scheme him open to have a good day. And some people good enough at scheming to still make some things happen, and some people not. But if I lock Humphreys up on D-Hop, Boone is going to struggle with me. Period. Ain't no way around that shit. My corner good enough to cover him. That's why when Nano is understanding how to use his team, he can get the most out of the Bosa brothers with Marcus Peters covering the number one receiver. He just doesn't know how to scheme it yet, right? But then you look at Aaron Donald playing over there for the Cowboys, and he's leading the league in sacks. Myles Garrett is playing for the Browns, leading the league in sacks. Who else? Who else can I go to? Say, look what Jadeveon Clowney is doing for the Broncos. How often did he was in your? Okay. Well, that's the Mitch Madden holes that we wanted in real draft. You know, when we did Game of Thrones, we took those players out the league because we made players better than them right away. So those guys didn't stand out. Like a Jalen Ramsey is shutting down anybody's number one receiver at this point. So when I'm playing the Packers or I'm playing the Browns, he got Denzel Ward covering Waddle. That 99 speed doesn't matter at all right now unless I scheme it open. But if you scheme it and make sure I don't scheme that open on no bond, you're not going to see me hit you with too many woo babies. When I played the Packers, he made sure nothing deep happened that game, and I had to play check down Charlie or underneath game with him, and that was that. And he had the right guys on him. I'm throwing a late pick because his safeties is fast and better than my fucking receivers at this time. So people got to start understanding that. When you're looking at your team and you playing some of these games. Go ahead. What you say? I'm here. Can you hear me? Yo, fuck. Yeah, he probably cut off. So anyway, when you playing your games, bro, and you look at your team and you match up with whoever you playing, you got to see those matchups right now. So when I scream shit like D-Hop is not a receiver that nobody's checking for, why? Because everybody wants speed. Tyreek Hill would be more ideal than playing with D-Hop. But if you Boone and you know how to play with D-Hop, then you get the most out of him. Simple as that. You there now, bro? All right, you can hear me. So I was saying how important it is lining up, knowing these matchups and knowing who you playing against, and certain things are gonna happen. So I say that because that don't make you like Justin Fields is going to be a dog. We know that, but how many times is he really going to be able to go crazy with one receiver named Patman? Patman ain't the guy. Ain't no guy on his game. His overall ain't better than most corners he gonna play. So for him to will him into having a great year, it's special to me. It's very special right now, right? But when you got the like, for example, your best corner is a rookie right now. I think he got 11 interceptions on the season right now.
Yeah, something like that, 10, 11.
Now, is that you lining him up man to man on everybody's best corner, and he just doing what he doing, or is that you scheming and playing zones and different schemes that you creating for him to be successful right now? But what happens when he got to go up against a guy like honestly, he might got to go up against D-Hop right now, and he might not burn D-Hop. D-Hop might not burn him for a bomb touchdown, but what happens when he go to catch that out and y'all both going for the football?
D-Hop won't get it because he ain't ready yet. He's like an 83 overall. Ain't ready. for.
So when guys is playing games, so when you watch the top guys play right now, when you watch a T play, and you see what he's doing with Michael Carter, we know T knows I got to get this guy to a superstar, right? And I know the speed gonna come a little more, but we see what T doing right now. And do you look at what he's doing with Michael Carter and say, you know what, that's kind of great for him to be doing that right now with this rookie, or do you look at him and say it's typical T? I think T understands what he's doing. Like at the end of the day, Michael Carter is having a hell of a season. He got more touchdowns than any running back in the league. But I think it's more impressive what D West is doing with Travis Etienne than anybody else is doing with their running backs right now. And this is with Saquon already almost at 2,500 yards rushing. This is with T with down there 40-something touchdowns with his running back right now.
Well, we got to give T a little credit too, man. I think he got 2,000-yard receivers close to it.
Exactly. That's the game he playing now. Why? Because he got to build those guys. But that's the game he playing. So when you play those type of games where T probably will want to be undefeated right now and not lose no games at all, he got 3 losses because he still has a team that he got to build right now. T don't feel like he lost because the person that he played better than him. Nobody that beat T is going to say this. That nigga ass. You're a shit stain. You can't beat me. I beat you. No matter what the score was. And you beat him by double digits, right? And the Chiefs guy beat him in overtime. But yet the Chiefs guy ain't going to be like, this guy ass. I whooped his ass off an overtime win. Right? And even with you beating him by double digits, you still not going to disrespect him and call him ass. Am I correct?
Nah, I ain't gonna add no fuel to it. Probably he is a shit stain. He is ass. But that's just me, you know what I'm saying? He's like, it's that big brother, little brother zone where he always gonna be ass.
Right.
But he not ass though. That's far from it.
Right. So I've beaten guys this year, and I've lost to guys this year. And on the total of my 4 losses, all my 4 losses was lost by possession. And I look at those losses, I take them hard. I don't like losing games. I don't like losing at all, actually. But when I lose them, I understand why I lost the game. So when I look at, the run game right now, I'm looking at all the guys I lost to have ran the ball on me better than I ran the ball on them. Simple as that. All the guys that I've lost to, majority of them ran the ball more than I ran the ball. All the guys that I lost to, their running backs have had big days in those losses, right? And I understand that right now. I know where my team is at as far as AI right now. We're dumb. We just young and dumb. We kind of like the Texans in real life, young and dumb, right? So we understand that shit. So I don't never take moral victories, but I do take moral victory to my team. Meaning, like, I look at these guys, I'm like, you know what, we gotta get people off the field, and we got a better score on our last drives because we're losing games by 4 points to 7 points right now, 1 possession, right? What happens when they grow up a little bit more and they don't move out the way, or they don't go through the wrong hole, or they don't run out of bounds, or not put their hands up to make an interception, whatever the case may be? What happens when that starts to change? Things start to change a little bit for the team. So I'm having this conversation just to tell guys, look at what's going on with your team. Look at what's going on as a whole of what you're doing with your team. Before we start calling niggas ass or taking things away from people on here, look at what they doing. Look at what this league is really doing in the first season right now. We looked at stats and we looked at a lot of stuff last night. I'm impressed with a lot of guys. Anybody that stand out to you right now, Falk, that you see doing something really big with the team they dealing with?
I gotta give a shout out to the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta give a shout out to the Seahawks.
Uh-huh.
Gotta give a shout out to the Packers and Browns. For them to be new to the league, it's like they've been here the whole time.
Right.
Gotta give a shout out to Circle Bob for making that Broncos team somewhat competitive. He had some pieces making them somewhat competitive. The Bengals, shout out to him. I see improvement in his game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. You play the Bengals, get ready for a ball game. That's what he's gonna do. But
man.
Cool,
well, he only gonna do that to those he think he got to do it too. He ain't going like he don't get beat by 50 by T if he came into that game that way, the way he came into our games. He don't get beat by 50, bottom line. Here's why. T defense, I don't give a fuck how good he is with using. His defense is terrible right now. And that's the reason why T isn't doing what he really want to do to people right now, because that defense is just not ready yet. And it's up to him to understand how to go build that defense through the draft or trades or whatever he's going to do in this upcoming offseason. But he's still good enough as a player to still be sitting himself in the playoffs, and only got 3 losses right now. But the coach is playing at a high level right now. He under the radar, quiet. We haven't spoken about the coach since the Texans win. Right, playing at a high level right now. It's funny because Boone is flying under the radar right now.
Yeah. But right now he's third in the division. Lost twice to Nando. And the Seahawks flying high, so I can't give him a shout out yet. He is flying the radar.
Has Boone had any big win this year? Has my boy Boone have a big win this year, or is he beating the teams he's supposed to beat?
Let me go look. It's a lot of practice. And go look. Has he had any big wins this year? Interesting. Let's go see. Let's pull it up, Sal.
I mean, because the Ravens are sitting outside the playoffs looking in right now, and the Cardinals is in the playoffs right now. So they looking in still right now. So let's take a look at it. 50-17 over the Jaguars. Lost to Nano. 74-28 over the Lions. Beat the Vikings 31-7. He beat the Saints first game 42-35. Colts 41-31. Won that game. Cowboys, she won that. Will did. That's a big win. Colts, Cowboys, and Saints all big wins. Rams 34-19. 49ers 30-0 donut. Titans 63-14. Seahawks, he took the L, then he comes back and beat Seattle 55-6. With the Rams, Seahawks, Packers, and Texans. All right, so with the Rams, Seahawks, I'll start here. Seahawks, Packers, and Texans. Boone last 3 games are some hitters at this point right now. If he can pull 2 out of the 3 of these games off, I think he's in a good position. What happens if he loses these 3 games?
Will he make the playoffs? I mean, let's see. Got 1.
I got 3 losses right now.
It's gonna be.
Can he lose week 15 or 17 and have 6 losses and make the playoffs over here?
I think with that extra team getting there, possibly.
Right. So all right, so let's take a look at let's get out of here. Let's look at the standings for a little bit right now. Let's see what's going on in the standings. In the NFL, your BCS, you got Seahawks sitting at 11-1, Chargers at 11-2, Bucks at 11-2, Packers at 10-3 at 4, Raiders are at 10-3 at 5, Broncos are 9-4 at 6, Cardinals are 9-3, Browns are 9-3. Those 2 numbers is going to change. That's going to drop the Broncos is going to drop underneath the Cardinals and the Browns, and then it's going to be Cowboys, Ravens. So it's possible the Broncos might drop out of the top 10 for right now after taking that loss to the Raiders. So that's that. Now you look at the divisions right now. AFC North on 1 game behind the Browns for the division at this point with really tough schedules left. The Browns got, let me get out of here and go to the Browns schedule. The Browns got tough schedule remaining, really tough schedule remaining, and this is going to show who he is as well. Let's get to him, Browns. All right, so coming down the stretch, the Browns got to deal with the Vikings, the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Chargers. So he played your whole division except for the Chiefs, right? He got the Vikings, JPZ, and then he got T, Circle Bob, then you. That game against Circle Bob is going to mean a lot right there. That's going to determine a lot. That can either put Circle Bob in the playoffs, guaranteed, or knock him out of the playoffs. The Broncos-Browns game. How big is that?
That's extremely big game.
That can knock him out or keep him in. The Broncos got to win this game big right here. All right, so what happens? The Browns got to win. He got to beat the Vikings, and he got to pull at least one of these wins off against he would have to really beat the Raiders here Because if he lose to you or the Broncos, then he's losing to me. Because then I got the heads up over him over who I beat. Because then I beat the Broncos and you. So he needs to beat T and then need me to lose to T if he's going to lose any of these games coming up. So he just can't lose 2 games. He got 1, 2, 3, 4 games left. He can't lose 2 games. The Broncos remaining schedule is Cowboys, Browns, and GETA.
Oh, wow.
He has to win against the Cowboys and the Browns. He got to win both of those games.
And what's his record now? 9-4?
9-4, yep.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm sitting at 9-4 as well, and I have to be able to win. I have to come down the stretch with the Lions, the Vikings, and then T at week 17.
That's a real big game.
Yep, week 17 gonna be huge for me. Yeah. So again, you got some good scheduled games coming up. Like this is where we wanted to see down the stretch. I mean, the AFC is off the hook down the stretch. Now let's look at the divisions right now. Okay, so the Browns are ahead in the division by 1 game. The Colts are up by, they tie right now, 9-4, 8-4. So the Colts are really ahead of the Texans because of the.
Have we played twice already?
They haven't played twice, but right now the Colts got the 1-up on him because he beat the Texans already. So I don't think they played twice. Let's go check that out real fast. Schedule. We'll look at the Colts. You know what? I'll get to the Texans faster than I'll get to the Colts. All right, so let's look and see when they play again. All right, so they coming up in 2 weeks. So right now the Texans playing. Look like the Texans and Titans is playing right now. And then you got the Colts and the Texans at advance. But then he got the Chargers and Boone to finish the season with. So he can be outside the playoffs if he lose if he lose 2 games. If he lose 2 games, he can be out of the playoffs. So he can't lose to Titans. He can't lose to the Colts, Chargers, or Cardinals. Any of those guys, any 2 of y'all out of the next 4 games he lose, he can be out the playoffs.
Did you already put your blue one in? The blue hoodie?
No, I don't know. Where, oh yeah, I think it was in a pile in there. I'll check real fast. As soon as I get off the road, let me get off the road real fast. Yeah, so for his last 4 games, he can't lose 2. Because he can have a 5th loss and still get in. But if he lose 2, it's a wrap. He don't get in. He don't get in. And I blessed him. I saved him with one of them suspension games. Now that's not take away from him because he wouldn't even be in the situation probably if he wasn't suspended. But I saved him, letting him come off suspension early. It was a mistake, but I let him come off early, and I let him come off because I didn't count the game that he lost against the Colts. I mean, I counted the game that he lost against the Colts as just 3 games. So with that being said, he's in a situation as well over here. So the Ravens, the Browns, the Broncos, and the Texans are all in situations. They all got to win majority of their games coming up for the playoff picture. Now let's keep going through standings in the AFC. We got to the AFC South. AFC East. Jets are 6-6. Bills are 5-8. I think it's still a race between the Jets and the Bills right now. Jets on a 3-game losing streak right now. They gotta win. They gotta win 2 games for them to win this thing. Going down the stretch right now. So this is still tough over here as well. At least a 2-team fight right now. And then the West. At the end of the day, you're 11-2. T is 10-3. Even if you would have to lose 2 more games for T to win out for him to jump you. Other than that, if y'all finish with the same record, somehow you still get the tie because you beat him twice. But y'all fighting for 3 to get in the playoffs over here in this division over here. So it's a huge fight coming down the stretch right now. And it started off with T beating the Broncos. So that's huge going down the stretch right now. Now, when you look at the NFC North, you got the Packers sitting at 10-3. Now the Vikings are only 2 games behind the Packers right now, and that's important. So they are in a 2-game race right now too, 2-team race. NFC South, 11-2 Bucks. Panthers sitting at 8-4. Falcons sitting at 8-4. It's a 3-man race still over here for the last 4 games. And the NFC East, Looks like the Cowboys kind of got this on lock right now, even though Mark is playing good for what on the stretch. I don't see it happening, but Mark will have to go undefeated, and D West will have to lose all his games. But D West do got some teams that he playing on here that can get him. So can Mark not lose another game and D West drop 3? That's the only way that changes. Let's see. Let's take a look at it and see who Mark got remaining. All right, so Mark got the Giants, Raiders, and the Panthers.
Oh, shit.
That's tough. Tough ass schedule. And the Cowboys got the Broncos, Panthers, and the Chiefs.
Broncos, Panthers. Oh, shit.
Exactly. So as you can see, these last 3 weeks is really important, bro. Oh my God. Coming down the stretch these last 3 weeks is important. Yeah, nobody got an easy schedule coming down the stretch, man. I think y'all all should give me credit for putting these divisions together. Period. I should get credit for that. I'm looking for the credit. I'm looking for the good looks and hits. Good looks and hits. And the NFC West, Seahawks are 11-1. Cardinals are behind them at 9-3, and the 49ers are 8-4 right now. So coming down the stretch here, the Seahawks is not completely safe. Because there's still enough games left that they can drop 3. The Cardinals can jump them if they don't lose another game. And then because they split, so anything can happen there. And then the 49ers is hoping that the Seahawks will have to lose 4. Eagles will have to lose 3 for the 49ers to have to go undefeated from here on out to jump back on top of this division. So, and all these guys have winning records, and they're looking to get in the playoffs, and there's a fight down the stretch. So we looking at the NFC and the AFC as a whole, all fighting to get in the playoffs right now, between a bunch of teams right now, trying to get into these playoffs right now. That's fucking nasty, bro. That's a balanced-ass league right now.
That's impressive, man.
Very impressive. Very impressive. All right, so coming down the stretch, we got to talk about awards and yearly awards right now. What's going on? So Michael Carter, bro, how impressed are you with Michael Carter, the North Carolina running back? Wasn't a full-time starter for North Carolina. He had to share time with Javonte Williams over there. It was almost like the Reggie Bush. What was the other running back they had over there? The Lindell White situation with them. And again, as you can see, you seeing a highly talented running back in his rookie career with the numbers right now. Now, he's 100 yards a game type guy, and he's double-digit touchdowns. He usually scores somewhere between 4 and 5 touchdowns a game right now. But when I talk about running backs, I think Travis Etienne, to me, I'm impressed more with Travis Etienne because of the user. He's throwing the ball to him at a high level and running the ball with him at a high level right now. So we do have a couple of 2,000-yard backs right now. Let me come out of that and go to it. All right. So Saquon Barkley has 2,254 yards. He averages 7 yards a carry. Mo Start has 2,034 yards, 7.8. Michael Carter averaged 8.5 with 19.24. Travis Etienne, 1,839, 6.7. But he got 28 rushing touchdowns too. Miles Sanders, 1,509. AI, 1,509. McCaffrey comes behind that with 1,477. Now, touchdowns though, and this is the crazy thing. I don't understand how. Michael Carter got 35 rushing touchdowns. That's why he's leading the MVP war right now. Behind him is Travis Etienne, 28. Mo Start with 26. Saquon Barkley, 25. And McCaffrey with 20. Out of these guys, who you're impressed with the most?
I would have to say I'm more impressed with the guys who always do it, man. Let's go back to last league. I have to say I'm impressed with Key and Nano.
Okay.
And the only reason I think it because it's like with those guys, like, look, I know what I'm gonna do. I don't care if you know what I'm gonna do. You gotta stop it. They true to who they are.
Right.
And for them to consistently, year in and year out, be at the top of rushing, we all try to, like, I try to run the ball, and then, if I don't have no success, I go away from it and I go back to what I'm used to. But for those guys, just to keep tugging away at it, and then the honorable mention would have to go to Albert and Saquon Barkley, even though I wouldn't have done it. It's still impressive. Albert is not really known, like, he's like a balance type of player. He's not really known for running per se. He can run, but not, that type of going. So I would say those three.
Okay. Now I like Travis Etienne because I feel like he is the Cowboys' offense right now, and I'm impressed with D. West is doing with him. 273 carries for 1839, 6.7 yards a carry, 28 rushing touchdowns. He averaged 141.5 yards a game. And then in the passing game, he has 37 catches for 552 yards with 3 touchdowns. So he's throwing the ball to him out the backfield as well. I'm very impressed with Travis Etienne because he's definitely hard to stop. Now Saquon got to carry the ball 320 times. He almost got 100 more carries than the next back. Right now, but he averaging 173.4.
Who got the least amount of carries?
The least amount of carries out of those guys would be in the top 10.
And not overall, but like who is starting back that don't got, like who's sitting but don't got a lot of carries?
All right, let's look at it like this. Here we go. All right, so Michael. So the top 3 carriers is Saquon with 320, Mostert with 261, Michael Carter with 227. Travis Etienne with 273, so he's actually in front of Michael Carter, Miles Sanders. They all got 200 plus. After that, the next guy that got the most rushing yards is AI. He got 1509, 8 yards a carry, but he only got 188 carries.
Nice.
13 touchdowns. He averaging 116.1 yards a game. Yeah. So then we get to the receiving side of things. The guy that's catching the ball the most right now is Kenny Gainwell from Memphis College. Over there for Buffalo, got 99 receptions out the backfield right now.
That's crazy.
Is that impressive or is that just crazy?
Man, that's crazy. 99 catches, we got 1,000 yards?
Nah, he got 622. He averaging 6.3 yards a catch. 47.8 yards of average and only 1 touchdown. How about Desmond Patman? First of all, let's look at Desmond Patman. He is a 79 overall. They got him up to a superstar. I mean, the guy overall is terrible. His average of everything is terrible. He's building him as a player right now, and he got him number 1 in the league out of receivers with the most catches with 77. For 1,107 yards, 14.4, 13 touchdowns. A no-namer. Somebody that nobody will play with is putting in work right now. Justin Fields found him a number 1 target right now.
That's over in Indy, correct?
Huh?
That's in Indy, correct?
Nah, that's in Detroit.
Oh, wow.
DK Metcalf with 76 catches. Will Fuller with 74 catches. Let's look at Will Fuller and his overall. 93 overall on star right now. Are we impressed with Will Fuller right now? I think he's playing with him at a high level. 74 catches, 1343, 18.1 yards a catch, 103.3 yards a game, 17 touchdowns right now. Chris Godwin over there for Tom Brady with 71 catches. And then you got Escobar up there with 67 catches. And then DJ Moore for the Colts up here with 66. Then the tight end Mike Evans, wide receiver Mike Evans 64. And then Marquez Stevens 62. So Tom Brady getting a lot of passes to a lot of these receivers right now. Far as yardage go, we're looking at J-Dub with 1946. He averaging 32.4 yards a catch, 149.7 yards a game. DK Metcalf is second on the list with 1779. And then Smitty, the Slim Reaper, is 1382. 45 catches for 1382. He averaging 30.7 yards a catch right now, 22 touchdowns. Rondell Moore. So we got 3 rookies leading the league in yards right now. Waddle, Smitty, Rondell Moore. 3 rookies leading in the top 5 yards right now. in the league. Will Fuller with 1343, Tyreek Hill 1333, Chris Godwin 1315. Touchdowns wise right now, at the receiver, Jay Waddle with 26, DK Metcalf with 23. Devontae, I hate guys send me invites because they see me on, think I'm just going to play because they sending me an invite. Devontae Smith, 22 touchdowns. Then DeAndre Hop, are we impressed with his 54 catches, 12, 11, 100 yards a game, 19 touchdowns?
Yeah, I would. 'Cause to me, he's not a Madden receiver.
Right.
But Boone making him nice, so I'm impressed.
Yeah, Boone doing this thing with him. On the defensive side of things right now, man, Darwin James look like he's leading the league in tackles with 92. And he has 13 tackles for loss. Behind him is Tyrann Matthews, Roquan Smith, Dylan Moses, Rashawn Evans and Trey Washington, the my player, and Isaiah Simmons and Justin Reed with 81 tackles right now. Shit, even Jalen Ruffin, his my player, got 78 tackles at the safety position. Tackle for losses, my favorite stat. You got Isaiah Simmons with 16. Justin Reed at the safety spot, 15. He's doing it again. Put that guy at linebacker and stop your stretch all game long. Deion Jones with 15. Antonio Todd, the my player for the Lions, with 15. John Farkas with 15. Darius Washington, the new Honey Badger, with 15. Then Brian Mills, cornerback, with 14, and J.J. Watt with 14. Sacks right now, 21.5 from Clowney, 17 from Aaron Donald, Patrick Falk at 12. Your my player, Myles Garrett at 11.5. Khalil Mack with 11.5. Isaiah Loudermilk, the rookie, with 11.5. Max Crosby with 11, and a rookie Tyreek Smith with 10.5. Oliver Vernon. So I don't know if if I go to the AFC, will I see anybody else that we ain't see? Nah, that's cool. That's Sean Price. Oh, Sean Price with 11. And we go to the NFC. Do we see anybody that ain't show? Nope, they showed everybody in the NFC. All right, so that's the sacks. And let's get to who's getting the picks right now. Isaiah Simmons got 16 picks. Darwin James, your rookie corner, J.C. Horn, with 13. And then rookie corner, Brian Mills, with 12. And then Bradley Roby for the Texans got 12. How impressed are you with Isaiah Simmons and what Boone doing with him? Especially after having him for a whole 7, 8 seasons.
Right. Yeah.
Very impressive.
So, like, I'm ready to play again, man. What's up with these games, man? Where we at?
Gotta check them out right now.
Chiefs, you ready?
We're gonna come back on. We're gonna come back on with the rest of this real talk and shit. So I thought it was a good thing. Stupid is as stupid does. I'm still gonna get into that conversation a little later, so I can explain what I meant by the Raiders and the Broncos game. We'll get to that in a second, though. Holla at me when we holla at you. We'll be back.